Hi, Gordon here with another edition of the Unscripted series. So this one I'm going to do is on side ports. Here's an instrument and let's see, player side. So some makers put a little hole in the side right there called a side port. And you've noticed, in the last few videos that I'm trying to be very careful about not criticizing other people's instruments. First of all, if you're an owner and you have an instrument with a certain feature, the last thing I want you to do is make you feel badly about it. And, if you're a maker that incorporates a certain feature, I don't want to be critical of that either because, we're all different and we have our different likes and dislikes. And I think the main thing, if you're going to get a custom ukulele made, is that you find a maker that resonates with you. I think the good custom makers have a point of view. They don't try to do everything for everybody. They don't say yes to every request that comes along. They have things that feel good to them. Either they have perfected them or they personally like them. It's their personal aesthetic or their personal design, but they have a strong point of view and they stick to that point of view. And I think the best marriage between the maker and the owner, the player, is when you find people that have points of view that are very much in sync. So, back to the side port. Side ports are put in theory, to improve the tone to the player. Now, in my opinion, it detracts from the overall tone. And the reason is there's a lot of science between the size of the sound hole relative to the overall volume, that is the cubic inches of the body. And those things have to be correct, or else the tone, overall tone, is in theory being suboptimized. Now, is that really correct or not? I don't know. It's very hard to do side-by-side comparisons. I believe it, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily correct, and it doesn't mean that whatever you perceive isn't what you're perceiving. So I think the reason I started out the video the way I did is that sound ports just aren't our thing. Now, we've done them a couple of times, more early on, where we were more of a mode to try experiment with things, or if people twisted our arm, we'd say yes. But then we got to a point that said, we just don't like it. We either, in some things, we don't like the aesthetic, and other things, we don't like what it does to the tone. It doesn't fit with the overall tone of the Maiamoe design, and we didn't like what it did to the Maiamoe tone. So kind of we stick to what we're good at and what we like and our personal preference. And therefore, we don't do side ports on our instruments. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.